Hello guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Digest and I'm coming live from our beautiful home. It's still morning around 8 and let me invite you all to the channel. Today we are beginning the frames, the doors, because we've been constructing for the past week and also previously, and the doors that I'm talking about are the inner doors, and we want to make the frames because we have the timber and they were cedar. I think in my last video I spoke about them, and cedar posts are derived from cedar trees. Yeah, and it's very shiny, a very shiny morning with the sun, which you can use to sunbask with. And before I continue with the framing, because we have to start our mason that I know is very new to the channel. The guy has been making for us doors even way back just in the compound, and so we used him also to make the door frames. So before we continue to that, I want to mention some because we are using cedar post, and recently I've been planting some pine trees, and I figured out that because I'm supposed to take them out of the seed bed after they are ready, because just to prevent root rot, because they don't usually grow, because they're usually affected by root rot, and I don't want to plant them immediately from the seed bed to directly to planting. So I want to put them in, they're usually black plastic bags, so I think I'm gonna get them if they're ready. But for now I just want to make a compost manure. It's not really a manure but a compost soil. Yeah, so I had some I placed some cow dung, black soil, you know, usually rich in nitrogen, very dark soil, and I placed pieces of because while we were cutting the timber that we use for roofing, when you cut using a power saw, there are usually some pieces, small pieces of trees or timber that are usually left on the ground. So I also used them, and also I've been using the leaves that we've been sweeping in the compound. There are some over here that I'm still waiting for them to compost so well. These ones, they also have some over there. This is the tree that you're seeing. It's usually a flower, but if you leave it for over sometimes, it grows to form a tree like this one. A very huge trunk. It has been here since I never saw them plant them. I just found it. So we have a couple of them, and usually the flowers are usually over here. It looks very nice while the flowers are here. But now the problem comes in when these other trees, because these other trees also shed leaves. So if it's a mixture of this one and these other trees, it now becomes ugly. Because we also have avocados next to it, and avocados have usually big leaves compared to these ones. So when you sweep, because usually we sweep, when we sweep these other trees and leave these flowers to lie around, it usually looks very nice in the compound. You can even get tempted not to sweep them, but it's always better to sweep, because they also dry up and form this black and yellow. You see, this black and yellow. Yeah, so I've made a compost pit, I think 2 weeks ago, and I just want to add some leaves on top, because the pine trees that I'm talking about, they usually take time. Probably they'll take like 2 months for me to get them out of the seed bed. So I'm calculating by then my compost soil will have been so ready, because if it doesn't get ready, it will affect the roots of the pine tree and make them rot. So they have to be really compost so that they can be ready. So the ones that I have that I made actually is here. So I covered them with this iron sheet so that the heat can make them really compost. So on the top layer, I just placed some leaves. Beneath that leaves we have that black soil. Then beneath that black soil we have pieces of trees that I was talking about after you cut a tree using a power saw. Then below is when we have cow dung. So after I place the leaves today, I'm gonna put some cow dungs on top, then cover it like this. So I'm also covering it because I don't want it for the rains to splash on top, because if the rains splash, it won't really compost the way I want it to, because the only way it can compost really nicely is without water, just dry, and usually it becomes whitish when it composts without water. So that's why I'm putting them. They've been that way for, I've said, like last 2 weeks. So if I add another 2 months or 1 month, 2 weeks, they'll be so much ready. So I think we are now gonna continue. I'm gonna wait for the mason to come. I've said it's still early in the morning. They usually start around 8, 9. So once he's in, I think I'm gonna help him, because we went to school with the guy. We went in the same primary school. Although in our primary school we had 2 categories, so he was in the other category of people, and after that I think he went to how do we call them, these courses for, he studied courses for masons. You can either do electrical work, you can do plumbing, you can do, there's a lot. So I think for him he specified on, because I usually see him use timber and not roofing, so I think he specialized on putting doors. So that's what we are gonna do today. So stay tuned to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. For my returning viewers, I'm always grateful for the support. And yeah, let's see how it goes.
Kwa injare beyor injare injare omega koka
Tepeda. Awar 32 centimeter. Apa ngari? Dạ các nhà đi.
Đó phải là camera một.
Nhà mấy cháu mà chuột kìa.
So we are finally finished making them, and we placed some. I think they are like 1, 2, 3, 8 doors, 8 frames. I mean, 8 frames, which means we have how many doors over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because there are some places that we won't put doors, like this part. We won't put doors because this is the dressing room. So we'll put one for the washrooms, 1 frame, 2 frames for the both bedrooms, obviously the kitchen and the store. They usually a name that Miss Flair usually call the kitchen store. So we'll put one, and you know, we use the wall pass. So these other parts will stack. Yes. So inaitwa wall pass. It's called a wall. Yeah. So these wall pass are gonna be stuck into the wall just to make it stick. And we use 2 inches of nails. These ones that we use. And you know, when you're hitting it, it shouldn't overpass on this side, because the frame isn't that big enough or thick enough. That's why we use the 2 inches of nails, because we didn't want it to interfere with the door. The door will be on this side. Miss Talia, you will fall. So it's very easy job. Took us like almost 2 hours, because we had also to reassemble them, cut them into pieces, and also put the supports, which are these, but later will be removed, these ones. The only one that I think, even these ones will be removed once they are stuck, because we measured the length, which I think was like 13 centimeters for the doors. Yeah, so it's just the normal doors. All the doors in the house are just normal doors, except for the main door, which I think was put wider for obvious reasons. You know, when you're putting things into the house, there are some that will be obviously big. And also for the window, facing the front porch. We placed it a little bit big because of fresh air, and also for the dining. It's a little bit almost occupying the whole space. So both of them are a little bit bigger, just for fresh air. And I think so the next step is just to installation, which I think will be quite interesting, and I'll be able to take you through the whole process, and maybe I'll learn something out of it, because you know these are cedar tree. This timber for cedar tree, and you know I mentioned it because termites usually like wood, but if you use cedar, they don't usually. I don't know if the smell of it, or there's maybe a chemical inside it, or an herb, something of the sort. So termites don't really like eating cedar trees. Yeah, and also there are usually some houses that people usually put wood just below the wall all round. Some put tiles, but for me, I think I've mentioned it a couple of times, I like houses built with wood. So if it were for maybe my suggestion, I would have liked maybe to the same to happen, wood and no tiles. Although you have to really maintain them, you have to paint them occasionally. That's now the other part of it, but they always really look so nice. And maybe I think you can also use cedar tree just to make it all round. Yeah. So I think if the time reach, I think that's now in the front, so much in the front, because I think that will be done after we've already even put tiles and the walls have been plastered. Yeah, everything, because those are just the finishing parts of the house, just to beautify the house. Yeah, but you can also tell me how maybe you like it. I see nowadays people usually just put tiles, mostly, but the woods were, if you look at houses that were made a little bit back then, people used to put them. But I think I like them because you know, old is always gold, and the architectures back then I think used to be very specific to, in terms of building or building anything. They were so specific to the key. Yes, to land. Yeah. So we'll just install. I don't know if we'll install them today, but probably if not this week, the following week, because we can't put them down over here because of the moisture beneath. Yeah. So if you put them on the wall, because you know we placed damp cost on the wall, so the moisture can't really seep through. So if you put them, they will be safe, and also the wall pass I think also help a bit. Yes. So I think the next thing is just to, because we are done with these frames, they're over here, just so the next thing is the windows. And yeah, so we are gonna start with the windows and also see how it goes. Hopefully it goes so well. Yes, so hope you stay tuned to the channel and watch the video till the end. Yeah. Get out.
Pin ka. Because job. How much?
Utachafuka.
Niseme nini? Nini? Sijui. Bisa ngapi saku?
Liam.
Hata mogi na nete ende.
Tunamwonye taki watu feki, utaumia. Kimbia kimbia tu hapa kama mjini kama pala.
Kaa. So we are done with all the windows, and unfortunately only one of our windows isn't fitting on the spaces that was left, simply because they interchanged the measurements. They placed the one for the height on the length or on the width, and the one on the length they placed on the height, so they interchanged it. So but for the rest of the windows, they are already done, like these ones for the washrooms, all of the windows, and also for all of the windows. And you know, I saw Miss Flair was just cleaning them, simply because if you leave them, because they were patching this concrete, some were sticking on the metal, and you know, we'll have to paint them later, so it's better to clean it when it's still wet, so it doesn't pose any challenge later on. And also because we just cemented it, I think we'll cure it as we go, because there's no rain, and for it to stick on the walls such that no one can really enter into the house later on, it has to really dry so well, so you have to cure it. And this is the space that has been left, and the window is just inside the house, so it was extending all the way to this black spot you're seeing, and it wasn't reaching. So the length is reaching here, and also extending to this other part, this side, and the height is kind of short. So we were having one option. Actually, we have two options. One is to go and rearrange the whole window, because the way the measurements were taken, you have to remove all of it and start afresh. The other option is to build, because it's reaching somewhere here, so we have to build like one course below, so such that it can fit, and also demolish this part and also this part. So the bad part or side of demolishing it is it will leave this pillar to be very thin. You know, the beauty of this house is the stones, and the gauge that we used are bigger stones. And if you decide to cut this wall, you will reduce the gauge of the stones in terms of size, leaving it very weak, because the house itself is very heavy, because we use stones to build it. And even the lintel, we use the bigger lintel. The lintel is not the normal lintels that people use. We extended it with some inches just to make the house very strong. And if you see this stone, it's coming from here up to here. So the beauty of it is the bigness of the stones. And if you decide to cut them, that's now again will change the whole outlook of this front part, which I think we won't consider that option. So the only option that is left is just to go and fix the window. The guy told us that he was supposed to come today, but the masons told us that those guys really, they fear mistakes, which means that they have to come back and redo it. So they fear it, and wherever they are now, they are really asking questions for the guy that did the window. So over here is the window. It's a very nice window. I was having an idea that they should make another one and not demolish this one. So they should keep this one in their stores, such that maybe if someone likes the idea, the design, they can now make. So maybe they can sell it again later on, and now make another one for the. So that's also an idea. But I think they can't really go for that. No, they've been the guy that came to measure the windows told me that they've been in the business for like 10 years, a decade. So I think if they don't want it, it simply means that the industry is very flexible. So people don't like the same thing. So people will tend to like different things. So that's why I think they can't take it back and make another one again. Because if you've been in an industry for a decade, you can tell, you can predict, yeah. So, and also these type of things I think usually happens because if you've been doing this type of job for a certain period of time, you'll know that or you'll be very prone to making such mistakes. So I think it's nothing new to them. They, I think, very used to it, although I think they don't like making mistakes, because now that's work times 2, which is very tiresome. But hopefully they'll come and we'll fix it, because we don't want the front of the house to be, we don't want to guess, so we just want it to be perfect the way it was. And yeah, it will be so nice. And also we are supposed to do these inner wall plates. So we have this one. They are supposed to be done after roofing. It wasn't a mistake that it was left like this. It was supposed, it's always done after roofing. And that way you can fit it nicely with the timber, such that no one don't enter into the house. Because if you just put ceiling board here, someone might just cut it and enter. So we have to do the wall plate. For that we have our bricks over here. They are the ones that we'll use for the inner wall plates. I don't know if they'll be enough, but there are a lot. If I estimate, they're like almost 2,000 bricks, which I think will be enough. Our gables are a little bit average. They are not tall. The roofing generally it's not tall, and also it's not short. So I think 2,000 bricks will fit both the front and the back wall plate, just for security. That's why the house will be safe. And also the work that we've done till now, the house is already safe, because if the windows and doors are closed from inside, no one can get inside without even putting the window panes. Yeah. So we'll just wait for the masons. Today is on a Thursday because I'm coming live from East Africa, Kenya. If they don't come by the end of the week, because usually people over here go to church on Saturdays, which means people rest on Saturdays. On Sundays, some people also go to church, but for us, if they don't come by Friday, they'll come on Sunday. So in the meantime, I think I'll just cure the walls, the part that they've done, so that we have very strong windows. And also I was suggesting that because we are left with the piping, and our electrician had already drilled the wall. I told my dad it's better for him to start maybe after 2-3 days after I've already cured the windows properly, because if he starts now, because the windows are very heavy, because if he's drilling, because if he's drilling is heating, so that that vibration might spread. Although the wall pass, the work of the wall pass is just to balance. That's why whenever there's an earthquake, walls don't always crack or break down because of just the wall pass. But we're just taking precaution. I'm just trying to tell him waiting 2 days won't cause any problem or any delay. So if he starts, because if he's putting the pipes, there are some places he will have to correct just to make it straight. So while he's doing that, he might cause the vibration which I'm talking about, and might interfere. I'm not saying it will, but might. So taking precautions is better than ignoring. Yeah. So I think it's been a wonderful job that they've done. The house looks so nice, and maybe the next step, as I've said, is just plastering. Yeah, because we have sand, and also putting the slab for the sitting room because it's a little bit low. We want to raise it to some height such that if we enter the house, it's not that deep. Yeah, so the main thing is already complete. We wanted to do, because we've done windows immediately after roofing, so we wanted to do the windows and also for the doors, because those are the heavy part of building. Although the finishing is also very expensive, but that also depends with your pocket. There are some people who usually do very expensive finishing. Some people do just the normal type of finishing, so that one varies with people. But the main thing was just the windows and also the roofing, because those are the heavier. Because if you have so many windows, so hectic to put them, and because the windows are so many, the window panes will be so much. Because like this window for washroom, you have to put 2 window panes. So and look how it's so small. So you can imagine someone is interfering with Mr. Liam. So you can imagine this window. Yeah, it has a lot of window panes. Liam, no, piga. Nyamaza. Mvulana ali. So can imagine this like this window over here, it has a lot of window panes to be placed. So someone was just interfering with Mr. Liam and anakufanya nini? Yeah, so I think that will be the end of my video. It's been so nice interacting with you guys, and for the subscribers, I'm so thankful. And I think there are more more to come. And panguza up. Yeah. So there are more interesting videos to come, and stay tuned, and I'll keep updating you on anything that's going on. So let's meet in my next video. Take care of yourself. Liam, sama bye.
Bye.
Let's meet in my next video.